All right, I'm Nick out in the garage. We've been planning on making this video for a while. We had some testing to do. I wanted to get it in some people's hands. Everything checks out great. And I'm going to show you this new scupper mount. Obviously, we've been busy. Yesterday, we did a video talking about the surf. They had the tournament this morning, and there were just kayaks flipped over all over the place. The goal of that video, you know what, if you want to hear more about that video and watch people flipping over, let me know in the comments section and then I'll make that video separately. Let's talk about this. Now, if you watched the install video where I installed the GT51, which is a EcoMap 94 SV on the Salty Sportsman PDL, you've already seen this, and I told you guys that it was a new Garmin mount, but I wanted to send it out to a bunch of people who were, new orders and have them test it too. I'm going to show you some clips outside of installing this on the GT54 and talk to you about why it's better and why it's the future and why it will replace this mount on all future orders. However, it's a little bit windy, so I wanted to talk to you about it briefly here. The goal of this still mounts the same way, goes in the middle of the transducer, and that's going to let you take bigger transducers and even out the space from the center of scupper, so you don't have to worry about hitting your pedal drive, hitting your pedals, or hitting the Minn Kota motor, right? You know what? I rambled about it in the wind. Tons of information out there, so I'm just going to give you the content from outside. Watch it. I'll put some links above and below so you guys can go watch videos of me installing it and using side scan to show you guys it works wonderfully. If you have questions, let me know. Here's the clips. Okay, so we're outside. Might be a little windy, so I'm going to have to redo this audio, but you guys at least be able to see this video portion. This is the original Garmin Scupper mount that we made. Mounts right here. Obviously, we have sold an unreal amount of them, shipped them all over the world. Works good, but the goal is to always improve the products, right? If you notice on this GT54 transducer, the wire exits at a 45 to the rear. So we've had a few problems with guys who had trouble mounting it. I actually made this mount for the GT51 transducer that I put on the Salty in one of the last videos. Put a link up here and I'll show you it on there after this. This mount is much smaller. Obviously, like I said, the goal is always to improve it and make it better. It lets the cord run right up like that, and it's just a completely flush mounted on the bottom of the kayak, which is perfect. Your side scan's still gonna work fine on any of the Old Town kayaks out to 150 feet or so. If you're trying to scan 300 feet left and right, you might run into some issues with that. You'll see some interference. Outside of that, it's going to work perfect. It's a big improvement, especially for longer transducers. The GT56 is about this much longer. The GT51, which you'll see in a minute, is wider and longer. It's heavier, and if this little piece can hold up that transducer going through the surf and all the abuse we put it through, your guys' smaller transducer will never be a problem. The GT56 is actually way smaller than the 51 as far as weight and width go. I'm going to install it real quick. I'll show you guys it installed so you guys can just have an idea. Remember, it still comes with the same scupper top, all that good stuff. Same wing nut. Now once that's installed and tight, I'll come down here, be a little bit darker. You guys can see, hadn't even lined it up yet. Super nice install, very, very easy, nice and level. It's gonna scan through here perfectly. One of the biggest misconceptions of side scan is it scans straight out. It doesn't, it has to scan out and down, or how on earth would you have a photo of the bottom of the water, right? We're gonna go over here, we'll fast forward, cut to this. I'm gonna pull that GT51 off of there. We'll show you how big that transducer is and how good that small mount does. Okay, so here's the mount installed there. You can see if we use this mount, it would still fit, but then the center of it would have to go here, right? And then the hole's not big enough, right? So mounting this mount closer to the center allows us to mount this transducer like this. You can switch the side scan left and right, and there's already a link up here in the description to the install of this GT51, which you can see is way bigger than other transducer on this Salty. This little shim right here, little spacer, is just to keep the transducer level because this kayak is kind of shaped like a banana, right? Little mount's been on there for a long time now, right? It's plenty strong, right? Bigger is not always stronger. This design actually has some design flaws, so being able to make it completely flat makes it stronger, works out better. It is a huge improvement, okay? If you already have this piece, you do not need this piece. But if you do have a GT54, it may help sometimes your transducer kind of stalled at an angle. It'll help level it out a little bit more, okay? Keep that in mind. If you already have that, you probably don't need to upgrade or anything, but if you are looking to get a new one, this will be the new mount that ships to everybody. So once it goes in there, I'll just toss it up here, then I'll film it. Obviously it's a salty, so it has a different scupper top. All the information about the different salty top is in the video too. And we'll fast forward through this, cut to the next part, and just show you the bottom real quick. All right, it takes 2 hands to get that salty scupper installed, but here it is. You can see it perfectly level. Side scan works fabulous. I've actually posted some videos of learning how to use side scan on the reef. I'll put a link up above for that too, an information thing, so you can see how well side scan works in this configuration. We'll snap back to the garage. I know it's windy out here, okay? And that's that. It's the future, works wonderfully. Obviously, we have it on both of those kayaks. They've been on there for weeks. We go offshore. I abuse them. I drop them off of trailers and so on. It works great. It's actually stronger than this because of the design, but that's nerdy stuff that we don't need to talk about. So, got questions? Leave a comment. Shoot me an email at dick@navarrekayakfishing.com. Thanks for watching.